The Crooked Anchor and the Man Who Smiled Too Much. It was one of those heavy, sluggish afternoons at the Crooked Anchor, the sort of day where nothing quite made sense, but no one had the energy to fight it. David sat at the bar with a crossword puzzle in front of him and a spoon dipped in jam in his hand, gently dabbing answers into the boxes. "What's a four-letter word for confusion?" he muttered. Pete, in his usual seat by the window, spoke without turning. "Now." Out back in the kitchen, Clifford was running Warren through the intricate ballet of dishwashing. "No, no, no," Clifford barked, seizing the plate. "You don't wash in a circle, Warren. You wash with intent, like you're banishing a curse." Warren, soaked and shaking, nodded solemnly. "Banishing. Got it." Brian, meanwhile, sat at the bar with his nose deep in a newspaper that looked suspiciously brittle, the headline shouting, "Chamberlain appeals for calm, war still averted." David glanced at it, frowned. "Where'd you get that paper, Brian?" "Newsagent," Brian grunted. "They've really upped their layout. Fonts are nostalgic. You're reading the Daily Mail from 1939. Brian froze. "Ah!" He turned the page with the slow gravity of a man processing global conflict. "We need to prepare," he said grimly. "Sandbags, ration cards, hide the beer." Outside, Pete hadn't blinked in 20 minutes. "There's a man," Pete finally said. David looked up. "There are many men." "No, just one, staring at me and smiling." David craned his neck toward the window. Sure enough, across the road stood a man, neatly dressed, very still, and very much smiling, straight at Pete, unblinking, as if he'd lost a bet with Satan and was just trying to make the best of it. Brian didn't look up. "Smiling's suspicious, always has been." Pete didn't move. "He's walking now." "Toward us?" David asked. Pete nodded. "He's still smiling," Pete added, slightly more tense. David peeked again. The man was crossing the road in slow, deliberate steps, gaze locked on Pete like Pete had borrowed something and never given it back. Warren stuck his head out from the kitchen, holding a broken sponge. "Someone at the door?" The pub went still as the man entered. He walked to the bar, still smiling, still without looking away from Pete, and then, just as he reached the counter, he turned, faced David, and said in the most normal voice imaginable, "1 pint of bitter, please." Everyone stared. David poured it in stunned silence. The man paid in exact change, took his drink, and went to a table in the corner, utterly ignoring Pete, who was now visibly disoriented by being forgotten. "What the hell?" Pete muttered. Raymond popped his head up through the trapdoor with a small rat perched proudly on his shoulder. "Oi, anyone seen the cheddar? Maurice needs more training snacks." "Is Maurice the rat?" asked Warren, towel-wrapped and glassy-eyed. "He's not just a rat," Raymond replied indignantly. "He's a thief, an artisan, a cheese hunter." The rat nodded solemnly. The smiling man raised his pint in a perfectly normal way and began humming a soft tune, completely immersed in his own eerily peaceful world. Brian folded his paper with military precision. "If this war kicks off again, we'll need to fortify. The smiling ones always get in first." David, now using mustard to fill in clues on the crossword, didn't even flinch. Just another day at the Crooked Anchor, where the rats are trained, the newspapers are anachronistic, and even the creepiest stranger is just looking for a quiet pint.